Hey guys, Farag here. Okay, so what you don't know is I just did an hour-long live cast, more than an hour and 20-minute long live cast. Had a bunch of good matches versus good ranked players. Won. And then when I shut the recording, I realized that I was actually not recording the whole time and I just started recording. So basically I did not record any of it, which really stinks. But that's not why we're here, or is it? So in this vlog, I want to talk about OP. I want to talk about laming, and I want to talk about, what was the other thing? I don't even remember. Not important. Sorry, still sick. Anyhow, so what is laming? Because this guy's laming, and he's laming, he's laming. So here, I'm going to give you my own definition. I'm not going to point fingers at cards and say that's lame, that's lame, that's lame. I'm just going to give you my own definitions, and you could do with it what you will. I believe that, let's start with overpowered. An OP card is a card that simply does too much for its power. That means one of two things. Either it cannot be efficiently countered by another color, or technically by any other color for its power. It's okay for one color to have a slight advantage in a certain area and another color to have a certain advantage. But if Wrecker is 50 power and there is no single unit in tier 1 that's under, let's say, 70 power that can kill Wrecker, that would be overpowered. If his ability only cost 20 power and it did something that was worth 50, and to counter it you needed to spend a ton of power, that would be overpowered. I'll give you one example, because I've called it OP, but whatever, I don't face it many times, and what is going on here? This thing is jumping around like it's nobody's business. Okay, no, I don't want to upgrade. Okay, so for example this. Stormsinger, right? So Gravity Surge, which is what every player with Frost used to have in their deck. Every Frost Splash used to have a 65 power card that could disable Drakes. So hey, 65 power and you could disable a Drake. Actually, does it go down to 60 power? Yeah. I have the upgrade. Why am I not using it? I don't know. Oh, did I just buy it? I guess I just bought it. Oops. Anyhow. So 60 power, you can pull down a Flying Drake. Okay? Stormsinger does the same thing for 30 power. It's an ability of a person, which means you don't lose the 6 permanent power. You don't only get back 90%, you get back 100% of it. So you get back 100% of 30 power, and it's half the price. So you're going to say, well, yeah, but you have 60 power bound in a unit. So let's look at this. For 90 power, you not only get the 60 power ability, but you have a great, fast, swift, medium counter on the ground with ground presence. So for example, if you're going to put her together with something like a War Eagle, you can't do anything. All ground medium units will just get screeched to death or attacked, and any air units will be shot down. There is nothing in a fire deck or a fire nature deck or a bandit deck that can, for this amount of power, counter this. There is no solution, which is why I believe Stormsinger to be overpowered. And when they asked on the forums, what do people think? A vast majority of people said, yes, Stormsinger is overpowered. And then right before they did the last nerfs, some German players said, no, she's fine. And so they didn't nerf her, which is just stupid. There were other cards like that too, and everybody was very upset. It's just a broken card. It's too amazing for only 30 power and you don't lose any of it. So that's overpowered. Like, people cry about Mountaineer being OP. I don't know. It's 150 power, doesn't have great health, it just has that amazing shield, and if you figure out how to deal with it, you make 2 large counters and you might go well, it's possible. It could be with buffs. It's strong, but, like, you can maybe call it OP, but it's not like a verified, bona fide OP. Like Stormsinger, and there are other cards that I'm not going to go into because I try not to put my own opinions down for the sake of people forming their own opinions. So that's what overpowered means. Too good for too little money, or too little power. So what's lame? Okay, so lame means you taking advantage of something that the other player does not have the ability to take advantage of. That's my own personal definition. Do with it what you want. So for example, if there was an imbalanced map, I started here, he started here, and no matter what happened, I would automatically get to this place. Sorry. I would automatically get to this place first, and I could build a wall before him, and whoever got this wall first could, let's say, shoot over and reach the main base. Let's say it was a ridiculous map, okay? Let's pretend this is his starting orb. This is my starting orb, and for some reason my orb starts right here. So I don't even have to build a unit. I can quickly take this wall and start shooting at his base. Okay, I know it's a ridiculous example, but let's say me grabbing that wall and abusing this imbalance is called lame. That's my opinion. However, or another example, if there is a super overpowered card and there's no way to counter it, if I would just spam it knowing that the other player couldn't counter it, that would be lame. However, if this wall situation was true, but our bases were perfectly far apart, exactly symmetrical, so he can not only, I can grab the wall and then he can grab the wall, and even if I took my wall, let's say he can grab his, is it lame for me to take the wall? So I don't think so. Like on Lejesh, right, where there's that orb and the walls. So people all the time call me lame, lame, lamer, how come you take the wall and shoot? And I say, look, you are taking a risk by not spending 25 power on that wall. There's a reason it costs so little, so that you should take it and not get your orb shot at. If you want to not spend the little 25 power and want to risk your wall being taken, that's your stupid decision. You can't call me lame for acting on it. Now, I'm saying stupid decision in a story scenario, but I personally don't even take the wall. I play with the risk. I know that somebody might grab the wall and beat me. Lame? No. He just took advantage of me not wanting to spend 25 power. There's no imbalance here, because we both have the same exact situation going on by our bases. So, if he built the wall and I didn't, and he got me, it's not laming, it's me playing stupid by not following his thing and building a wall. That's my personal opinion. I'm not going to start shouting about cards or this, that. I'll tell you another card that I would openly call lame, and it's not an overpowered card in my opinion. Okay? Fire Dancers. So Fire Dancer is not an overpowered card. I think for 70 power it's worth it. Siege is amazing, but there are a lot of weaknesses in Fire. It's only got medium units pretty much in tier 2. And it's not a strong fighter at all, Fire Dancer. So there are a lot of risks. You end up spending 50 for the Rallying Banner, then 70 for the Fire Dancer, and if the other player has good attack cards, you cannot counter it. So it's a good card. I don't think it's overbalanced. But then there are those maps where no matter where you build your wells and orbs, there are cliffs all around it. And all it takes is a Fire player to just nice and easy walk the Fire Dancer over, tra-la-la-la-la, and just start shooting. And shooting. And what do? You bring a Drake over? Okay, here's a Gladiatrix. And you have to move your Drake away. So you're stuck. And this thing just has free reign and takes out your orbs. You manage to bring stuff over. It's just like it's really impossible to deal with over cliffs. Now, I don't think Fire Dancer is overpowered. But on certain maps, when you take advantage of the fact that you have cliffs all around, no matter what the guy does, you can cliff over. That is laming, because it's a total game imbalance that cannot be beat. Now, Caldra posted a link to a video on YouTube, which was saying that imbalance is good, that having a little bit of imbalance is good, having something stronger than others, because then people don't, his general logic was people won't stick on one color for too long, because let's say Pure Fire, for example, is dominant, but there's one thing that can beat it because it's stronger than Pure Fire, as in more powerful than Pure Fire, but Pure Fire is more powerful than everyone else, then everyone else is going to start playing the other color, because Pure Fire is, so let me just be a little more clear. Let's say Pure Fire was by far the strongest deck. People shout OP, 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 but let's say Pure Nature, for example, was the only deck that consistently beats Pure Fire. It's just so much stronger. So this imbalance of Pure Fire being the strongest and Pure Nature being stronger than that, not balanced, is good, this guy claimed, because first everyone's going to start playing Pure Fire, then people are going to migrate to Nature, and people are going to start diversifying because they're going to realize that everything is more powerful than something else. Okay, first of all, that's a beautiful video and it's really sweet. And for something like League of Legends where there are 8 million heroes, okay, fine. But you're in Battleforge, where first of all, not everyone can afford everything, and second of all, people pick one color and stick with it. That's the way the game goes. And even if you would say it's nice to move around, there are not so many color options available. We can't have one color be a generally dominant color because that kills the game. Look at colors like bandits or pure nature. Not so much pure nature, but bandits and, shadow nature, I guess a little pure nature. Those colors, even, well, Stonkin's a bad example. But those colors rarely make it into the top 100 or top 200. Why? Because they're not as balanced as they're a weaker color, and that's it. It's not like people will play them. They have no advantage. It just doesn't make sense. I believe Battleforge needs to be 100% balanced. That's my personal opinion. I don't believe in this little imbalance thing that Kaljar's talking about. Not my cup of tea, especially in this game. I think in Tier 1, balance is pretty good. Some minor exceptions I'm not going to name. Tier 2 balance is pretty good. But again, there are some very rare lame instances. I don't think Reaver's lame. These are your own opinions. You can do what you want. But the only thing I think is lame is when somebody has a clear overpowered advantage over you and keeps abusing it versus you, where you cannot counter it. But if somebody does something, like I said, took the wall, which you could have stopped by building your wall, or did fire dancers at you not over a cliff, that's not lame. That's just you not knowing how to deal with something. And that's about it. That's my personal opinion. Shout at me in the comments. I don't care. Give me your own opinions. But I'm not going to start blaming cards or stuff. I'm just telling you my opinion on lame and overpoweredness. And I really want to see Battleforge be a more balanced game. Now, in that video of mine that just got not recorded, which is really annoying, I had an idea, and guys tell me in the comments if you like it. My idea was that I start doing tutorials of colors. Like, for example, I buy every single fire card, like every single one in the game, and actually make like an hour-long video going through every single card, what the card does, and how you can use it in PvP or PvE. I'm sure it'll take about an hour each. Okay, I gotta stop talking. My throat's never gonna forgive me. But that's my idea, and let me know what you think about it. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.